two stories. I'll probably do it on this one since I'm on live right now already. Wow. You know, this morning, before I get started to talk about this, I had a very, I had a very heavy heart this morning. I didn't know why. Didn't know why. Okay. I felt very melancholy this morning. I really did. I really started feeling that way a day or two after I DJ'd. I'll get that in another podcast. But I felt very melancholy this morning when I woke up. I felt overcome with sadness. I really did. And my wife was, I was saying, what's wrong? I said, I kind of feel like I'm very undervalued, and I'm not going to go into detail about why. Maybe in the next podcast, but this ain't the one to talk about it. But I did feel very overcome with sadness and grief, man. Didn't know why, I just was overcome. And so about 2 o'clock today, I heard the passing of Cosby star, and I've come to find out it was none other than Malcolm Jamal Warner, who was best known for that role. The role that he started when he was like 13, 14 years old, and he was a brilliant actor from the time he was a kid to an adult, man. And I'm really sad to hear about his passing, man. They said he had passed away today at the age of 54 in Costa Rica while on vacation with his family. He was said he had drowned. That's the only details I got on it right now. It's funny. I actually had I've heard some good stories about Costa Rica, and I've heard some terrible ones. One I heard prior to this was Left Eye, who had died in a car crash out there years earlier. Wow. I don't know the real circumstances behind his drowning or whatever, but it's sad to hear that. It's sad to hear about anybody that young because, and this is the thing, man. They're getting younger and younger when a lot of our folks are. When it's come to tragedies like that, man, it's heartbreaking, and it's heartbreaking to me personally because I sit there and watch this guy grow up. Hello, J Star, who we are. Okay. I can't text back, so you just have to listen. I'm not going to respond to many texts here. Chats. I'm not going to respond to too many chats because I'm actually on the road here. But I just really, and I appreciate you stopping by, though. I really do. I just wanted to talk about Malcolm Jamal Warner, who passed away at the age of 54 today, man. I was very sad about that, man. And I am, because I watched him grow up as a teenager on The Cosby Show. I've been watching The Cosby Show since I was like 18 years old. I was 18 when I started watching. He was 6 years younger than me, so that would have made him about 13, I think. No, 12. Yeah, he was about 12, 13, whenever he started. But anyway, he actually had a good body of work in television, some films that he did. I know he started a couple of television shows. I know it was a sci-fi show he did, I watched. And then he was on a medical show on Fox. Then I just saw him on The Rookie about a year or so ago. A little over a year ago. Sure did. He was pretty good in that too. Yes, and he was also a director, and I think he was a writer, a screenwriter, if I'm not mistaken. But I know he directed some television shows as well. But he was very successful in what he did. And maybe that's why I felt like I did this morning in hindsight, because I kind of feel like, forgot he was best known for Malcolm and Eddie with Eddie Griffin, who I actually did meet years ago in Vegas, at his residency at the Rio. But anyway, I was thinking how undervalued that he was as an actor. He was very undervalued. I've said that for many years. He's a brilliant actor. He was a very brilliant actor, man. I heard he was also a Grammy nominated. I think he was either Grammy nominated or Grammy award winning musician. I didn't know that either. That's something I definitely didn't know. You know, so a lot of things about people you find out after their passing and stuff. But it's really sad to hear about that because he definitely was out there and he was with his family. They said during around the time of his passing they were on vacation. That's even more tragic, man. You know, and I really hate to hear about stuff like that. It breaks my heart. It doesn't matter if you're an adult or a kid. You know, and I'm just wow. Now, there was a story I heard about another situation that was so terrible, so detrimental and sad. I won't even talk about it on YouTube. And I saw it on YouTube a couple days ago. That's another whole story. But what I might do is do another podcast on him later in the week, do a whole retrospective about him. Because he actually was part of the piece of the puzzle that made the Cosby Show the classic series that it was, you know, to be honest. And he will definitely be sorely missed. I don't know his family structure or whatever as far as he was married or whatever. Not, I don't know nothing about that. I just wanted to talk about his brilliance as an actor and how it influenced a lot of young people, particularly young kids of his age, and you know, and everything, and you know, he was a very positive light on television. He really was. That I do remember, and I'm really, really heartbroken by it. I'm not going to front, you know, because him and my brother is actually the same age, 54. My brother will be 55 in a few months. And then he's 54 right now. You know. And it's, like I said, it's heartbreaking to even hear about this, man. It's like, oh my God. Wow. Don't even know where to begin anymore, man. And 54 I consider it a young age, considering I'm 60 now, myself. But 54 is still a relatively young age. People don't believe it, but it is. You know. But the sad part about it is that, you know, and I know some people say, well, you know, God, this, blah, blah. I'm not going on that. All I'm gonna say is this: he was gone way too soon for his age. I'm gonna say that. Now, I'm not gonna go into all the other stuff I'm doing. I will say that. I guess we'll find out later on about what happened or whatever, but it's just sad to hear about that, man. You know, because I think he still had a lot to offer to other actors as well as, you know, up and coming, you know, future actors. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he had a lot more to give. You know, because I was occasionally see him on TV here and there. But I do think that he was undervalued as an actor in Hollywood. I said that for some years anyway. Maybe that's why I felt the way I did this morning. So I'm going to get off that topic right now. Rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner, who passed away today at the age of 54. Best known as Rose Thiel on the long-running hit Cosby Show. He'll never be forgotten. Real talk. Anyway, let me talk about this other thing, because I'm going to kind of tie it together with this. Well, not necessarily with this. And maybe I'll just do another podcast, because I think this should be a separate tribute to Malcolm Jamal Warner in his own right. and I don't want to talk about this guy and him in the same podcast. So let me go ahead and get out of this and start a new one, and I'll be right back. It won't be titled, officially titled, but I will be talking about Trump and his mess and how it ties into the city I grew up in, and the city I grew up in now. Well, not grow up in, but the city I'm in. I'll tell you. Just stay tuned.